We are back. So, last week you had joined Phineas heading to this haunted house to do a quick investigation, clear out some ghosts. Turned out to be maybe a little rougher than everyone was expecting, but dealing with the ghost Alex Sudenberg, and then managing to get to his collection of interesting artifacts. You found the soul anchor, or the shadow anchor. You were able to destroy it, banishing the ghosts, only to find yourself trapped in the Shadowfell. So we leave off with everyone still on the second floor. Although looking around, you notice Phineas has disappeared.
Hell.
He's like, F you guys.
As this shadow anchor broke, he kind of like faded out of existence. At least as far as you could see.
So, guys, was Phineas a ghost?
I don't think so. He didn't hit any of the hallmarks, and he was moving from place to place just fine.
Second question: are we ghosts?
Are we still alive?
No.
Otto definitely died, so we gotta look at Otto first.
No, I'm alive because Matt healed me.
Because if I'm a ghost, I'm gonna steal so much shit, guys.
You're not a ghost, and you were gonna do it anyway.
You're not ghost.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I am a ghost.
When you're a ghost, I'll tell you. All right.
You can't see me. I don't care what you say.
I move so slowly as to be imperceptible.
We could literally all see.
Ian, didn't Otto get like an Arcana? Like, I think I succeeded that one, didn't I? So I know where we are.
Yes, you were able, working together with Lucian, you're able to figure out that you are in the Shadowfell.
So I'm pretty sure we're just gonna like diverge that information to the group.
And funny enough, Kaito, he was a little late. He had said he was going to join in. Just had to take care of a few things. Arrives at the haunted house that you were sent to investigate a little while after you had arrived. You see him walking up the stairs to the second floor, not having seen anything of interest on the first floor.
Did those tomatoes get cut at least?
Yeah.
Wait, so I'm late. I'm late to the haunted house.
No,
You arrived maybe an hour or two after they arrived.
Okay.
And you walk up the floor to the second floor. You see team around. Otto is far older now. He was in his 20s. Now he's in his 50s.
Oh, okay. Everybody's much older.
No, just
Or
me.
just Otto.
And
No, just me. I think.
Just don't get close to ghosts.
Okay.
Fiffle.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Piffle.
Who's that old guy?
Me, Piffle, and Chungus, I think, are the old ones, right? That sound right?
I believe so, yes. That being said, orcs and halflings have a far longer lifespan than a human, so really they just look only a couple years older than they would normally.
Oh, okay. Not like unrecognizably old.
No, for a moment you're like, is this Otto's grandfather?
Mr. Otto, how are you doing, sir? I adventure with your son. He's a pyromaniac.
Asshole.
Don't want to say you raised him right, but you raised him.
Actually,
Definitely
orcs.
raised him.
Should set you on fire.
There it is. There it is. That's what happens
was
when
out
you
of
go out for
character.
milk and never come back.
Well, here's the skinny, and then Graham will give an in-character, swift breakdown of everything we know and have done.
Hey, dragons? I heard about dragons at one point.
Yeah, there were a dragon out there, apparently. I didn't see it, but I wasn't exactly looking.
I'm
We
the
got
one
enough
that
to
saw
worry
the
about
dragon.
inside.
Yeah, I'm the one that saw the dragon.
Yeah, there was a shadow dragon that had passed by the window. But your last view of it, it was flying away from you, not having seen anything it could strictly interact with.
So are we
But-
gonna go on a dragon hunt?
Yes.
Or is that
I
completely
think we're
out of
gonna
it?
go on a
Yes.
go back home.
Dude,
I'm
Yes.
going on. I'm
already
going to
tried.
I'm
Flew away.
going to get my age reversed, and I'm going to set all of you on fire to make this pyromaniac joke. And
Who,
really show you a pyromaniac.
Who knows a lot about this like dimension we're in? Who does anybody like know anything about this dimension? I don't know anything about this dimension.
we don't know Jack.
No, we can't do like an arcana. Is that not an arcana roll? Anybody?
Anyone who's proficient can make a roll to see if they can remember anything.
Give it a whirl.
I'm pretty good with Arcane. I could.
I got plus 4.
5.
I can give it a shot. Oh, you got a
Do
plus 5? Yeah, you go ahead. I'll
Do it. You want to do it? You do it.
All right, I got you.
Okay. Kaido would know enough that the Shadowfell is overlaid with the material plane, and is its dark reflection. So, generally speaking, you could expect to see like it's kind of like drains emotion and various things out of it
Is it
And-
a mirror of the material realm?
to an extent.
So is there like is our home base also in this realm, but like a mirrored version of it?
With the 17, you could think that yes, it might very well be the case.
Okay.
But currently, looking out the window, you would have seen that you are actually in. You see like recognizable landmarks of Vaxval.
Okay. So
They're
it's
just-
somewhat mirrored.
Yeah. Yep.
We're in the inverted castle.
Different
But-
server.
Looking out the window and looking at Vaxval, there's no light. There's no stars or moon, but it doesn't look like it's cloudy. There's no color, with all the color looking like it's been bleached or drained out of anything around. It looks like a lot of dark, like blacks and grays.
We look like we belong here, like color-wise, or do we look like ourselves?
You
No, it's the wrong kind of neighborhood.
You don't belong here.
I'll be right back.
You do in fact have all the color on your clothing, armor, weapons, various things like that. So you haven't been bleached to like the darker colors, but everything else has.
So we really stick out.
We know a way to get out of here. Is that Arcana thing again?
Plus, beings just don't process color.
Anybody who's proficient could attempt to think of a way to get out.
I'm proficient. Let's see. Anybody else gonna help me so I can roll an advantage?
Mara's got a plus 5.
Yeah, I'll help him.
How would that work, Ian?
If you're putting your heads together to like think of a solution, that would just be one of you rolling with advantage.
If you're gonna roll advantage, Morrow, I'll do the thing +4 thing.
Okay. So Jacques can roll with advantage and then add the d4 from guidance. Okay.
Whoa, nice.
Add it, cause you're gonna need it.
28.
No, it's gotta go D4.
Oh, he's got to roll a d4. I see.
Yep. 28.
28.
Yeah, 28. You realize, yes. Okay, so what we need to do is there are areas of the material plane that weaken and let you pass into the Shadowfell, sometimes on purpose, sometimes accidentally, and it stands to reason that the reverse is true. That there are weak areas in the Shadowfell I can travel through to get back to the material plane.
So wouldn't this house be a weak spot?
With a 28,
Involved. That may have made it a weak spot.
yeah, with the 28, Lucian would be able to figure out the shadow anchor forced it to be that way, and that isn't like naturally occurring.
Is it like, how broken is this anchor? What did you guys do to it? Did it just crumble by itself? Did we let Otto burn it? What happened?
I didn't do anything.
Somebody smashed it.
Says the guilty man. Wait, what?
I think it was it Piffle hit it with the sword?
Yeah.
Yes.
I demand an apology.
It's been cleaved clean in half.
Okay, so not repairable. Or
Conjure some glue or something.
Does anybody have the mending spell? Would that work?
ooh, mending spell. That's a good.
We
call.
don't. I don't think we do. I mean, unless somebody does.
I just want it clear for the record. I heard, do we let Otto burn it? Pinched off the loaf, washed my hands at light speed, and immediately ran.
No, I heard that the anchor got busted.
They try
but
to
it was,
blame me for burning the anchor, which
But it was
happen.
Piffle with his
I hate you
mighty
all.
cleaving.
I hate all of you.
We were under pressure. We didn't know what to do, so it's just like United.
Otto's gonna retire.
Break it.
You just want to play your psychopath wizard.
Yes, that's exactly what I want to do.
Stop wanting to play your psychopath wizard.
Last time we were in a
You
room with
you don't-
ghosts that aged us 30
Let me
years.
tell
We
you,
were in a
you
room with
don't
like
want me
4
to play
ghosts.
you don't want me to play the psychopath wizard.
I know I don't. That's why I'm asking you not to.
Well, you guys are pushing me
Otto,
toward
I
killing
got
myself
you.
to play the wizard.
I
got
am
you, don't
not.
worry.
I was pooping. I and my butt are innocent, sir.
Do you have any mending spells, Matt?
Yeah.
I can get them. I think if not, but I don't think it would work as is.
Mm.
Uh,
Let's see
Graham.
if we could-
The other thing is, this is like a magical artifact.
Yeah, Graham mulls it
Probable
over. Like I
evil.
could probably. I actually do have mending. I could reassemble the thing's vessel, but getting the magic back in is a different story.
Mm.
Well, we could
that said-
try. It's not like we did a magic dispel thing or anything. We just physically.
Yeah, we just dunked it.
You also need
Yeah,
to
we just broke it. So
consider-
maybe physically putting it back together could.
Consider that Alex might have been infusing it with magic. It might bring him back, stuff like that.
It
True.
might, but then we can just take a crack at killing him again.
Who was Alex?
Alex was the.
Can we just like
patriarch
touch
of
the pieces
mansion
to
we
each
were
other
in.
to see if anything happens?
Picking up the 2 halves of the shadow anchor, it actually begins to crumble in your paws.
No.
I assume a quick casting of mending isn't enough to. Even if it does go back together, the magic won't reactivate.
Attempting to use mending to stick it together, it's still flaking off in bits as it rusts. You manage to put it together into like a single piece, but it you're still, as far as you can tell, trapped in the Shadowfell. Like nothing on the exterior of the house has changed.
Damn thing looks like Windfell Manor before we
Did
got
this,
there.
so did this book that I take have anything about the Shadowfell? What was it?
You specifically received the book about the artifacts that came from the Arwellan Empire.
Yeah.
You would have to like read through it, so you'd have to run like an investigation roll.
Yeah, anybody good at investigation and want to read this book with me?
I am.
I got a +4.
Yeah, I got a 5.
Give it to the cat. Or Graham.
What was
I
it?
think I have a +5 as well.
Yeah. Graham.
I'll assist, so whoever makes the roll can do it with advantage.
I would assume I have to roll on this too, don't I, Ian? Since I had the book, or
I mean, you could have just given them the idea to take a look. Say, I'm not great at this. Can somebody else do it?
I mean, I'm investigation. I'm a 2, so.
Give
I'm
it to the
distracted,
cat.
so- Yeah, so Lucian and Graham can go through it,
Okay.
and I can't really do guidance for this since it's like prolonged.
I did the last one. I don't know if you want to roll your luck. Same thing.
Sure.
Okay.
And
24.
Hooray.
Yeah, looking through the book, it is basically a catalog of. It was written by Phineas's professor. It's a catalog of various archaeological ruins he had found and excavated, as well as numerous artifacts that were pulled from the site. Things like old weapons, armor, religious artifacts. They do mention there's basically a point near the back of the book that has obviously like been dog-eared and has had some like ink written in it and like things in the side. Just looks like it was in Alex Sudenberg's handwriting from comparing it between his various notes and this. And it does mention what was termed the shadow anchor. So it looks like this is where he found out about it. And specifically, it was found at a city that had undergone one of their scourges to just remove it. Heavy references to the Shadowfell or a shadowy realm, and that's why the item itself was termed the Shadow Anchor, and it had some significance to that city and that basically worship and that realm.
Interesting. Well, all right.
I'll ask for Rami. Chaos Blade in there?
Chaos Blade? Yes. Yes.
With 24, no word of the Chaos Blade. Looks to be Viderheim only.
I gave it a
appreciate
shot
that,
for you, buddy.
Thank you. Chaos Blade just sounds so cool.
It does.
So, so the book that you just read about the anchor said that there may be another anchor in another city. Did I get that right?
Specifically, this just mentioned the Shadow Anchor.
Yep.
It only indicated one.
Is it the one we're at right now?
Yeah.
It looks to be, based upon drawings in the book, to be the one that is slowly crumbling in your hand.
Would there be an opposite, like in a replica in the Shadowfell of the one we just destroyed?
I think that is the one.
Is like a little
Or is it just one
unique
between the two planes?
leap for it?
Oh no, I don't think it would be unique. We're just gonna have to figure something else out. I would reckon, why don't we check out the manor, both because we might need a place to crash if we're here for a while, and because we can find out if things are over here, and then we might know to go crash like the college academic library to find Shadowfell shit.
Okay.
That's great. Can I also conjure like a little sleeve for the pieces of the soul anchor, so even if they deteriorate within it, at least they're all contained?
Yeah, you can make something that you could hold the stuff within. Yep.
Hefty bag.
It's closely shaped to the thing as it is to like create a little support to, and not
Okay.
slow down.
All right.
Okay.
So you're heading to the manor now?
We are in the manor, I thought.
I should say the Crossblades manor.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Leaving the haunted manor you were at, I guess formerly haunted, you open up. The neighborhood you were in previously was, pretty colorful. Lots of very rich families around, very artistically, like patrons of the arts, various things like that, and all the colorful like tapestries and things that have been streaming around are tattered, completely bleached gray. The streets themselves are twisting, where once they were straight, they are just curved and wobble, and they go off into alleyways that seem to go nowhere. It's completely empty. You can hear maybe occasional crow, and that's about it. Although,
so would we be able to feel like the ward between Shadowfell and the regular world fading or getting stronger as we walk around, or is that
generally no. You do notice one thing as you walk out, where there's no light at all, and it's very dark and gloomy. You do see, especially because it's the easiest thing to see in the city, the Shadowfell's version of the Sea Tower. Far in the distance, and where there's no light at all, there's one single pinpoint of light coming from the tallest window in the tower.
Cool. Well, we're gonna have to check that out.
What's this tower called?
This would be the Sea Tower.
Like ocean sea type thing?
Yep. SEA. I won't make you roll a history just for the bears, but basically it was built as half lighthouse, half like administrative center from when the Arwellan Empire first conquered Viderheim. That'd be basic enough that any roll would get you that info.
I tried to stealth accidentally advantage. I took it off now.
No problem. We'll just say a 9, so you kind of just like quietly sneak through. Alright.
Stealthing against things you can't see.
So it's very dark. Anybody without dark vision is going to have to either hang on to somebody else or stumble your way through or start a light.
I would say we could probably chain gang with the people who can see.
Yeah, I can't see.
That way we don't have to put a light on and get ourselves in trouble.
I don't know what lives here, but we probably don't want to attract it.
Okay. So you find yourself traveling from the old manor, the one you just investigated, back to Windsong Manor. You find yourself at a crossroad. It splits off. It's like a fork in the road that splits off. There is a cart that is been weather worn. The one of the wheels has broken. The bottom of it has like mold and wear has just caused like a hole in the bottom, and the place where a horse would be hitched, the leather straps have been broken. But you can go to either the left or the right at the fork in the road.
And we're not sure which one will lead us back because the Shadowfell's all like Nightmare Before Halloween or Christmas.
Well,
kinda, yeah.
People that can see, is there like any signage or
Coraline.
No, there's like any signs that would be there. There's no writing on them.
Let me check my spell list again real quick.
I'll be right back.
Okay, no, I don't have any of the things that let you phone a friend. I could cast Ray of Enfeeblement, that would help.
I enfeebled the Shadowfell.
The entire plane dies. You've just cast the entire place into disarray. Like the cosmology spot. Like, oh bother.
The Elemenster just comes and kicks your ass.
Fuck Elminster, and fuck you for reminding me he exists. Got your own bullshit out of here. Ooh, Melf, male elf with the acid arrows. Yeah, fuck you, Melf. Fuck you.
I actually was curious about that. I looked it up. Apparently that wasn't actually true. I think he chose it because it rhymed with elf.
Melf the elf?
Yeah. But so you are at this crossroad. One path just snakes down one way, another path snakes down the other way.
Never do anything right. I would say we take the left-hand path.
Okay. Heading down the left-hand path, you follow this like twisting, winding road. It seems to go on for a while. Like you pass just dozens of small points where you could break off into various alleyways. Don't really seem like they go anywhere. How long do you want to follow this path for?
Is this on the way to our manor, or are we going towards the sea?
That's the thing, we don't know.
Or we're just going in the direction we think the manor is in?
Well, yeah, that's what we're headed toward, but now we don't know whether the left or the right path is the one that'll actually get us there.
How long?
All the streets is shaking up.
Double back and check the other side?
I guess we could. How far have we gone down this road?
You probably traveled like 10, 15 minutes.
Did we run into any landmarks we recognize on the way to the house?
Make a perception check.
I will make a perception check. I will do it without advantage.
Okay. Well, there are a lot of, like, weirdly, like, a lot of the buildings seem like they're very tall when they really shouldn't be, and they're blocking your view. You do occasionally see, like, landmarks. Like, you do see the jeweled temple, well, at least the silhouette of the jeweled temple in the distance.
Does the stuff I recognize suggest we're heading the right direction or no?
The jeweled temple will be away from the manor house.
And do we seem to be going towards it?
You look to be like you're approaching it, or technically you would think you're going maybe perpendicular to it.
I don't think it's this way. Jewel Temple would be on the other side of town from us, and kind of points between two of the tall buildings to show the silhouette of the thing. I think we should go try the other way and see if we get some more immediate dividends. Anybody got a spool of thread? I need one. We're in Halloween Town.
I don't know if that's an item that's in any of my kits or packs. Can we just like roll to see if we have some thread to breadcrumb with? Or perhaps some bread to breadcrumb with?
Can we rope it?
You might have rope.
Rope, I think, would probably work. Because what we could do is take a length of rope and then cut it and then just tie lengths of it around stuff so we know which way we came from.
Yes.
Can Jacques climb one of these tall buildings, or anything weird about buildings?
No, they just look like, normally they'd be like 20 feet up. Now they're like 40 feet up.
Yes, let me just take a glance up top and see if I can see anything that might help us. I want to scramble up one of these buildings just to take a peek.
Okay. Scrambling up the top of the building. The building is very tall, but it's not like tall is in it was like had additional stories put on it. It's more like it was stretched. And the doorways and windows are far taller and thinner than you would expect. You get to the top and it's this very sharply peaked roof. The tiling on the top, you do manage to get purchase on it, and you're able to scramble to the top. Looking out throughout the city, though, it's just a sea of just these peaked roofs that don't seem like they go anywhere, with the occasional exception of various landmarks. Like you see the Sea Tower, you do see the Jewel Temple. Now that it's been pointed out to you, you do see things like where the Academy would be.
It might not be a bad idea to check the Jeweled Temple once we have a safe fallback point, just in case. Like, again, if there's bits and bobs from the other world over here, they might have some stuff on curing the aging thing. But one thing at a time. I would say we should go back and try the other path. What do you guys?
So not seeing much. Jacques comes back down and reports like, "Yeah, I'm not getting much." I think going back that makes sense. Let's check the other path. We haven't risked anything. We have only to gain.
Okay. Yeah. So you head down the other path. Okay. Heading down the other path, it very similar. It just twists and winds throughout the city. Just like the very strangely stretched buildings. You travel down about 15 minutes. Do you want to keep traveling down it?
I'll do another check to see if I recognize bits and bobs of town.
Okay. 11?
Tracks.
Yeah, you find a small bit of rope that had been tied around like a doorknob.
Crap.
Can we check for tracks? Both maybe our own and others.
Yeah, make a survival roll.
I'm terrible at this. I'm not somebody.
Survival, one of the ones you can let you train.
What was that?
Can you only do survival trained?
You could do untrained.
If you want guidance, you just let me know. I'm completely useless.
I'm untrained, but I do have a decent modifier, so maybe if you guidance me, that would overcome the
Yeah, let's do
difficulty
that.
difference.
Alright.
Yeah, this might be like you don't live and breathe tracking, but you've at least have a
No
bit of it. Yeah.
And add a d4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aw.
13. You notice like a set of tracks. You see like various boot prints. One set that's larger. One set that looks like it was made by cat paws.
Son of it. Yeah. Double check on ourselves.
As well as one set that is it would be larger foot. Maybe a little bit smaller than like a human foot, but it is like 3 large toes that you see. You're not sure.
And that doesn't match, say, Chungus, right?
Chungus would have just like large, like he'd be like a size 14 foot boot print.
Do we have any way of seeing invisible?
Chicken people. I almost got that spell, but I didn't.
How
Yes, you
fresh-
were all being stalked by Chicken Boo.
I have detect thoughts, actually. If they're
how-
within 30 feet, yes.
fresh is this footprint?
You're not sure with that survival. You'd have to do either another survival or a nature roll.
Does the rope look like our rope, or does it look like it's super aged?
This is your rope.
Yeah. Alright, looking at that extra set of footprints, I'll try another survival on that to see if it's the same relative freshness as the other footprints.
And
Okay.
roll
Like,
D4
maybe
you
base it
also.
on where the footprints were relative to the other people, because, like, you might be able to tell who was skulking and who was trying not to get noticed.
Okay.
Can I get guidance on that one again?
Yep.
Okay. 8.
Damn it, Leroy.
You're at least able to tell that it is a newer track than the ones that you made.
Alright, well, good news is it's not invisible. Well, bad news is it's not invisible that we know of.
Why not? Could still be.
It could be, but this is a newer track. That's about all I can tell.
Lucian kind of imagines a giant chicken, and his mouth starts to water a little bit, just imagining.
It could also be a freaking like reptilian thing.
Potato, potato.
They could eat you.
You're being stalked by Chicken Boo.
No, not like this.
It's not a man. It's some kind of Chicken Boo.
Well, if we are being stalked, maybe we lay a trap. Let's say.
Not a bad idea, but we need to have someplace defensible if we're gonna do this. And
Do have the alarm spell, so we could
Gotta
at
get to my
least
door.
be warned. I say we stake out in one of these little stretched out buildings for a little bit, see what we can observe.
If anything comes sniffing along our trail.
All right. Well, there's plenty of buildings to choose from. The area you're in is somewhat like a just a selection of like small kind of like apartments or smaller like row houses.
You guys think we should take a little stakeout session in one just to see if we're being followed, or is that sketchier? We're gonna encounter something in the building.
Well, as long as we find someplace relatively secure, yeah, let's give it a go.
Okay. So you see like one of the buildings with like the rope tied to the doorknob. The door itself looks to be slightly ajar.
Alright. I guess do some checks to see if there's anybody around,
Yeah, make a perception check.
and I'll encourage the others to help.
Looking through, you step inside, you listen, you peek around. Actually, you would have to do this with disadvantage. Can you do that one more time, just because there's no light?
That's right.
I would also.
Oh, look at that. Okay. Yeah, listening, kind of like letting your eyes adjust to the darkness and looking around. You don't see anything like moving. You don't hear anything. You do see a silhouette in the back corner, but it's not like it's about human sized. Looks to be vaguely human shaped, but it's not moving.
I'm going to come back in out of the entrance, and I'm going to mention that and suggest maybe we could throw a light to the back of the room or something, or somebody who can see in the dark could come in. So I would say get a light ready in case we do have to fight, and make sure that whatever I saw in the back is just like a mannequin or something, and not like a stalking predator.
Okay.
Yeah, Jacques will. I think we should also take this little rope off so we don't leave a trail of like where we are actually, but we can just put it back on and suggest that, and then go inside and take a peek as well at this shadowy silhouette.
Okay. So you're going to take a peek inside yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Roll a perception. You can see in the dark, so you don't have to do this with disadvantage. Okay. Looking in back, you see a tall, stretched out coat rack with a coat and hat hanging off of it.
Nice. I want to go take a look at this coat and hat and see if they're stretched out as well, and if not, maybe put the hat on.
Yeah, the coat is just a long overcoat. It does look like it was meant. Does look like it's meant for somebody very tall, probably like 6.5 to 7 feet tall.
Slender man.
The not quite. I mean, it's not a suit or anything. It's just like a nice overcoat. The hat itself looks to be basically it has like earmuffs. It's meant for like cold weather, and it's like fur lined. And it has like a flap on the back that would like sit on the back of your neck.
Definitely want to take those and give them to my fellow mates here. Anybody who might not have these nice winter capes that I have.
It fits on Chungus great.
I was about to say, that does sound like a Chungus.
Sounds great. Let's give it to Chungus.
Chungus went to Leclerc.
Chungus is watching a child be baptized by
Leclerc.
Leclerc.
Their ad campaign is out of hand.
If I ever got rich, I would just do stuff.
And, report my
on world.
come
Sorry,
on
I'm
in.
not having a good brain.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Sorry, I was saying I'll report my findings to the group and tell them to come on in and suggest maybe we perch on the second floor or something so we can get the jump on them if need be.
Sounds like a capital idea.
All right. So everyone heads inside and heads up to the second floor.
I would imagine.
Okay. Now, are you being stealthy?
I would say so. We definitely want to try.
I think we're definitely trying to creep between locations as much as possible.
Okay. If you're trying to be stealthy, just everyone roll stealth. If you have heavy armor on, just roll with a disadvantage.
Okay. I am wearing
Fiffle is stealth king.
scale mail.
Okay.
It does impart disadvantage on stealth. Sorry.
Okay. No problem.
Look at me, I'm the cleric.
Let's see
Literally
here.
doing a Durkon bit.
Let me just.
Let's just get heavy armor on that to say that.
All right, I just rolled for Chungus quickly. You can't.
I put a very brief description in my inventory, so I just had to scroll over to it.
Yeah. I rolled for Chungus. He got a 14. Oh, and actually, I'm gonna roll for I'm going for Kaito, but I believe he's also wearing heavy armor, so let me roll twice. Okay, he's fine too. He got a 13 at his lowest. So, some of you, it's a little heavy with the armor, but the rest of you, especially Fiffle, manages to just guide you up to the second floor. He points out any, bits of floorboard that look like they would creak if stepped on, and you find yourself on the second floor, and you think you've been relatively stealthy.
Not something.
You do see a window that would be overlooking the street you were just on.
Oh, good.
Yes, I say we take a short rest here and keep an eye out the window and see if we see anything following us.
Ian,
Okay.
how long would it take for me to identify that item I have?
If you rolled Arcana, you could do it on a short rest, or you could do it on a long rest and be sure you get the item.
Can I try on a short rest? And if I don't, I can try it again on the long rest?
Yeah, you could run that on the short rest with an Arcana check.
Happy to
Oh,
help you
that-
get a +5 Arcana.
And I can... whatever the heck pick myself.
Okay.
Let me see. Advantage.
Okay, 17.
For myself.
It wouldn't matter in this case, especially because this would take the full hour. But looking over it, thinking about you and Jacques, it's investigating this, looking it over, checking any arcane symbols on it, thinking about anything you've heard about. Eventually, you realize that this is an orb of time, and it tells you not the specific hour, but the time of day. Dawn, morning, afternoon, dusk, night, things like that. Currently, though, the orb itself is just spinning around. It doesn't know what time it is.
Sweet, that's useful though.
Let me see here. Is that in the information thing? I can just drag it over?
I don't know if it's in the compendium, but you could grab it from... You could just put orb of time for right now.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Who's I guess taking watch for the looking at the street.
We need the dark vision for it.
We probably do.
You don't necessarily, but the person would be rolling with disadvantage.
I'll do it. I have dark vision.
Okay. Go ahead and just roll perception as you keep a watch out. Okay. It's not, this creature's not being stealthy. Looking out the street, you see this creature that is about the size of... It'd be about beagle size. It stands on two small legs. They end in these three sharp black claws that scratch the ground as it crosses. It walks through. Its body and neck and head are all merged into one single fleshy mass. It has these two black dead eyes. Its mouth opens up and it occasionally looks up, and the mouth itself is this just round hole lined with dozens and dozens of teeth, like a lamprey. As this creature walks by, you see first just one, then you see two more, and then over the course of an hour you see about 3-4 dozen walk down the street where you had been.
Ah, this must be what lives here instead of people.
Does it look like
Do
it's...
you think they have an economy?
Did it look like it was looking for something or following something?
Kind of looks like it was following your tracks.
Good thing you took the rope off with them.
Yeah. I explained to my friends, look at these horrible little creatures. I bet you they will scream and draw more if we try to attack them. Fucking hide.
let me check my inventory for something. If we're staying here for a while, and there's enough light to work by, I was gonna start like a journal entry.
There really wouldn't be light. You'd have to create a light source.
No, not worth the risk.
Oh, because you're taking a long rest. Yeah.
My conjuration's glow. It could give you the sleeved soul anchor thing.
I don't think it glows enough to create like usable light. It just creates like a glow that's enough. It's like trying to read off of the glow created by like one of those like glow in the dark dinosaur stickers.
Try to play your Game Boy by the headlights as you're in the backseat of your parents' car.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Because you're taking a short rest, anybody you can roll hit die to regenerate some hit points that they have lost if they so desire.
Yeah, I'll do that. I will.
Okay.
And it's plus con bonus.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That actually gets me right where I need to be.
Okay. Auto gets back 19 hit points.
Good.
I could check on my components and see if I still have it. I think I refilled before we left, but we could conjure Hestia and use her as a little test guinea pig, see how these guys react.
Okay.
And them on a little wild goose chase. I kind of present that idea to the group. What do you guys think? Is that worth it? That's a spell slot for me.
I'm not sure.
So, I mean, we either fight, hide, we can do this test to see how they react, and then decide afterwards accordingly. That's all I got. Or mage hand test also, I guess, is doable. See how they react to a ghost hand poking them or something.
I'd just see if they let up after a while.
Okay, wait them out. Let's see.
Do you want to wait like another hour?
I would.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's see if it dwindles at all.
Okay.
If they don't, what we can probably do is sneak off and make a big noisemaker somewhere else in the city to draw them. Like, say, a fire. You're welcome.
Oh no, I'm not suggesting anything anymore. You guys are on your own. I'm just gonna sit here.
Quit being a little bitch.
I'm gonna sit here pondering where my 30 years of life went.
If it helps, time is fluid here.
I mean, I think we all wonder where time went. Okay, so waiting another hour. Lucian, make another perception check. Okay. It does take the better part of an hour, but eventually these creatures thin out. You do occasionally see like a couple of stragglers, but the big herd you had previously seen of them has passed by, and you haven't seen them for the past 20 minutes.
Good call. Good call. Relay this back to peeps, and we could try to stealth out of here now, or like splinter cell one of them.
I think the
think that's a good idea.
less impact we can make until we have to, the better. Let's see if we can at least get to Windsong.
Okay.
Or we can murder
That's
everything.
fine.
We got Kings of the Shadowfell and dwell here.
And all I got was this lousy t-shirt.
Well, we didn't track check on the left side, so either we're stuck in a loop that's just going to eat us, or because we've been going in circles apparently on this way. We didn't check to see if we were going in circles the last way though.
Well, we didn't notice anything immediately. But yeah, we could We could try going back the first path.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
you want to just travel the first path you had done then?
Yeah. Do we need to re-stealth?
No, not in this case because... No, not in this case. So, leaving the building after you haven't seen one for a little while, you walk down the path. And where you travel this path for a while, you do eventually wind back up at that broken cart you had previously seen. It looks like a lot of these streets might loop around, or possibly they alter your perception or are in such a way that they are designed to trick you into coming around in a circle, but you're not sure.
That's illegal.
Do we ever investigate this cart well, or we just kind of observed some things?
I think it's just a landmark. We could investigate it.
If anybody wants to, you can roll investigation.
I will.
Looking through the cart, it's definitely old and weather-worn. Looks like it's just been sitting outside for however many years. Any horses or creatures that would be attached to it are long gone. Anything inside the cart has been picked clean, and it's definitely suffered wear just by the fact that it's just sat outside in whatever weather this realm experiences for so long.
Call it bullshit weather. Clearly, we need to get more experience with survival-y shit.
So maybe I want to summon Hestia as like a point of reference, but then she can also be seen from far away.
She is an owl at night, though.
He has stealth.
These things. Well, there's dragons about.
Yeah.
Watch you summon her, put her out the window, and then just a dragon rushes past and snaps her up 3 seconds later.
This will be Maro. She ain't stealth.
Bullshit.
Let's just try the left path, sneaky and track checking, and see if we run into these little gremlin things or any sign of them, and see what happens.
Okay. So you're going to go by the second path, then?
I think so.
Back to the original one.
Okay. You take the path. This would be the one going kind of to the right. Traveling around for a while, you eventually find yourself back at the cart.
Does not seem that they want us to go back to the manor. Maybe we need to pick another direction.
That or start roughing it over terrain instead of just using the roads, but...
It would be difficult for you non-cat people to climb like that.
True. Need to do something. Jesus. I guess we could make our way toward that light in the windmill at this point. The windmill, the tower.
Seagate Tower.
Okay. You have that as a point of reference, so it's easy-ish to keep it in your general direction.
As we're getting closer to it, does it look like anything is checking out that light?
Make a perception check.
I will make a perception check. I will pull up the right tab to make the perception check. Why do I always put it aside right when I need it? Every time.
You're not able to see if anything sees around. I mean, especially because it's so dark, you don't know what is actually in the shadows of this area.
Well, shit. If there's anything checking out that light up there, I can't tell. I guess we just keep going.
Okay. Traveling towards it, while you're able to keep it in front of you, the roads narrow and take sharp turns. You tend to find yourself at various dead ends. Somebody who is proficient in survival, please go ahead and roll survival to see if you can get yourself back on track.
Oh no.
Is anybody proficient in survival?
Do we have a survival?
A +1, not really that proficient, no.
Yeah, we need somebody with training in the skill. I don't know that we have one.
Okay. Or anybody who can make the survival roll, but if you're not able to see, you're going to have to do it at disadvantage.
I'm proficient in it, but it's only a +1.
And I can see, so maybe I should do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you're able to find a road that twists, and then you eventually think that you find the way that will lead to the sea tower. You find yourself in this. Ooh, okay, I don't care. Something updated. You find yourself in this raised area of the city. Like you have to walk up like a set of stairs, and it looked like it basically puts it in like a 2-tier section. Walking onto the top tier, you look down, and there is just mist and fog below you. You also hear like the clicking of claws in the fog below.
That's good.
Terrifying.
They're happy that we made it.
I think they're really good trackers.
Look how happy he is.
They're clapping with their claws.
What is the sound of one claw? Ah! Well, yeah, I'm not sure. This is not my purview. Was the fog the only way forward?
The fog is below you. You're on like the raised platform area.
Alright.
So while the fog is kind of pooling at your feet, it isn't like the thick fog below.
Gotcha.
Maybe we go fishing. Add a little ration to some rope. Throw it down in the fog. See what we can catch.
I don't know. I don't like this.
How far away is the fog from us?
It's about 6-7 feet below you. The fog itself is like the stairway itself is like 6 or 7 feet tall, like to climb up. The fog is very near to like just looking through. You could reach over, stick your hand in, it would immediately be in the fog.
Can also offer Hestia's extended sight and go check it out visually at least.
Okay. Did you summoned Hestia during the?
I didn't yet. No, I just offered to the idea to the group, but it didn't seem to work out yet, so I have not yet.
It's.
Or Mage Hand it is free. You could try that. 30.
I could also mage hand if we go that route.
Can we hold hands?
Maybe what we could do is like throw a chunk of rock or something with a mage hand, so it impacts way off away from where we are, and then we could use that to move through.
Not bad. Not bad. I like it. I like it.
Okay.
Let's try some Mage Hand action. Do some probing in the fog.
I probed him with my mage hand.
Okay. Can you just put the mage hand thing in the chat real quick? Okay. Lasts for a full minute. Okay. So you just missed it as an action. Can't move more than 30 feet away. Okay. So you create this blue spectral. Would it be a hand or would it be a cat paw?
Oh, it's cat paw.
Nice.
You create this blue spectral cat paw, like hand and bit of the forearm of the cat, just little claws poking out. It goes over knocks something off a table, and then keeps going. it, the mage hand appears in the space above the fog. What would you like to do with this mage hand?
I'd like to send it into the fog and just grasp around and see if it can affect anything, or like, do I don't feel what the mage hand is feeling, right? I'm just kind of like sending it, giving it an order.
Yeah, like you're telling it where to go and what to do. Can't attack, activate. Okay.
So, like probing, kind of.
Yeah, it like probes in, and you eventually hear this like squeal from the fog. And the mage hand.
Good touch or bad touch?
Something
It's a squeal, not a moan.
Something attacks the mage hand.
It attacks the mage hand.
And the mage hand, you can tell that has been dispelled by something damaging it.
Okay. There are unfriendly things in there, which make some very strange noises.
Good.
And where you heard the one squeal, you suddenly hear a lot more that begin to congregate on that one initial one.
So they are drawing each other over. I would say I can use my mage hand to grab a chunk of rock or something and try to yeet it when we're ready, and I'll throw it over, if I can, throw it over where the other mage hand dissipated, so it's further away in that direction, so they go away from us.
Okay, so your mage hand is also or I believe it's invisible, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So you just see like this chunk of like rock get picked up, sneak over farther away from you. It would only be 30 feet at most, so you put it out as far as you can. You drop the rock, and the various squeals begin to head towards that dropped rock. But you hear just one remaining in your area that's not squealing, but kind of like sniffing around almost.
Smart one of the group.
Quick, kill it.
I mean, if we can alpha strike it or silence it. Do we have any silence spells?
You have a slight idea of where it is in the fog, but you'd have to really look into the fog and see. It's dark. The fog is just so thick, it's like a smoke cloud almost. So trying to attack it, you only have its like the sound it's making to go on.
Sam Fisher it.
Some fireballs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we can try to get around it, I guess we try to get around it. That's my idea. What do you guys think?
I mean, he's
I agree.
sniffing around. I say we fish. I say we give him something and attached to a rope. I mean, they're clearly hunting. They're clearly like some kind of pack animal that's hunting something like movement based or sound based or something. And
Reel them all the way up, and then just drop them.
reel them all the way up, get a good look at him, and maybe contain him somehow. I don't know.
And what? Contain them?
We're just gonna start like squealing, and they're gonna hear him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need some way of silencing the thing swiftly.
We can like, depending on. Do we have any sense of how big it is? No, right? Just by scurrying noises.
I'm guessing it's probably more of those weird things with the teeth mouths faces.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't have any silences.
Yeah, no, neither do I. I'm very good at dealing with
So we
like
saw-
undead. That's about it.
How big were those things that we saw?
They're about beagle-sized.
Beetle? Like
Beagle.
Like a dog.
Like a small dog. Like a small-ish, medium-sized dog.
smaller than 3'3", 3x3? It's over.
I would be maybe within a 3x3 area, or I guess cube in this case.
Right. So I guess my question to the group is, I could
Castia grab
soundproof
it and
like
drop it.
container to like trap him real quick. I mean, he might try to like lash out and destroy it. It's not a very strong container, but we could sacrifice this shadow deterioration for
Conjure a pillow and we'll smother it.
exactly.
Summon a Hestia and have her pick it up and just drop it from like a great height.
So it can call out to the entire city.
Just fly
Yeah, right.
Hestia in
Yeah,
as far
when
as
you're
you can
dropping it
go,
down.
and you're squawking in a puff of feathers. Then we go.
Sacrifice Hestia.
Not
I
again.
mean, he made it into a seahorse and it got eaten, so.
Can I ask a meta question? Like when you stealth, do you have a perception of your own stealthy capabilities, or you just always think you're as stealthy as can be?
When you roll stealth and nobody is actively looking for you, it would be your stealth versus their passive perception.
But like if I like go stealth and roll a 5, there's no way I know that I'm like kind of sucking at stealthy, or do I realize that like I just have nothing to hide behind and like I'm not being very sneaky?
Yeah, that's more like you're kind of like, yeah, there's nothing to hide behind, or you like bump into something that makes noise, so you get the general gist that I'm not very stealthy right now.
The Sam Fisher idea becomes nicer and nicer as we eliminate these options.
We're gonna have to like, if we do the same fish ready, we gotta kill him like right away,
Yeah, like
so he doesn't insta kill. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we have like blankets and clothes and stuff that
Just muffle it.
some noise. Yeah, definitely. If we're fast enough, we work in unison.
We should take all our blankets and our extra clothes, dip them in gasoline. Just muffle him with it, and then just firebolt the thing.
I'm getting some Princess Bride Holocaust cloak references here.
Fire isn't the answer here.
How about you make your container? Conjure a container. Can anybody conjure water? I know there's water making spell. We'll drown the fucker in the container. Just close it.
He would latch out and break it. Anything I conjure is like very easily breakable. Deceit thing. Like if we could
you conjure something
tie him
that
up or something first and then create a soundproof so he couldn't attack it.
Could you conjure something that makes the noise like
If it's anything non-basic, I would have had to already seen it.
Yeah.
Visited like a couple shops, including like a component shop, and I think like some other shop, like
How about we make a trap and lure him into the trap, and it's like an insta-kill trap.
fishing.
Fishing is not a good idea. You're just gonna reel him up and he's just gonna start freaking out, and everybody's gonna.
No, we throw him
fish
back.
We fish him to the point that is the trap. That's
Oh yeah, we could lure him that way. Yeah, but
Yeah.
we need like a fall pit or something.
I mean, in that sense, the conjuration is almost perfect because as soon as it gets damaged or touched, boom, it dissipates and then could trigger something.
If Chungus was here, we would just have him fall onto it.
He would have walked through the middle of this like an hour ago.
He would have just equipped his like heaviest armor and just like jumped off and just landed right on top of that thing.
Although he also talks to beasts.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know if these guys are considered animals. They might be like spirits or some shit, but
Can we send Chungus to go talk to them?
no.
Or like an
Otto's
ally
just gonna
ship.
start digging a shallow. Otto's
barely
just gonna
talk to
start
the
digging a
horses.
grave for all of us right now.
Imagine he does a great job. We
I'm
come
just-
back with like an alliance with these things. And now we have like an army.
We're like the lords of the Shadowfell version of the city.
We have like an army of these tapeworm looking
Then they
things.
made me their chief. I would say honestly, like, if somebody's got a good throwing arm, we throw another rock and like actually throw it way.
What would that be?
That'd be athletics to like chuck it beyond like the standard throw range.
Got a
Let's
+5.
get rid of this little smart one that is still snuffling around, which means there could be others as well. Which means we need to have a plan for the stragglers. Or the higher level ones.
This is so slow right now.
You are a little choppy, Ed.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, because it's overheating.
Ah.
That would do it.
Yeah, I would say we use maybe. I mean, our only two options are we use a couple more lure tactics to get them away from us, or we
I think
try to splinter cell it. But I think maybe just lure them away would probably be a good idea.
Yeah, I would say one more try at distracting them, like throw one more rock by hand further in the direction we threw the first two, and then just try to sneak through regardless. And if we have to try to splinter cell that one, we'll just be ready to alpha strike it. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be ready to run up and cast Inflict, like Season 2 Castlevania when Cypher just grabs that vampire by the face.
Sounds good. I can hear you guys. I'm gonna step away for a minute.
Okay. All right. So somebody wants to chuck a rock or something then?
Yeah, I got a +5 in athletics. I can give it a shot.
All right. Make a.
Does anybody have something better than +5? Anybody else want to give it a shot?
Chungus might match that, but I would say just go ahead and.
Okay.
Go ahead,
R-
Yeet.
Yeet.
Like, for the love of God, progress.
You have grabbed a rock, and you don't know. Did Kaido play like baseball in college or something? But you just take this thing and you put some spin on it, and you just whip it,
We
and
don't
it
get
just.
land, it goes too far.
You failed You failed successfully.
And you throw it, and it's about 30 feet, and like you have it hit like 30 feet to like hit the side of a building, jump, hit another building, like as it goes farther, and just keep like kind of bouncing in between buildings as it goes farther, just creating like noise in a direction away from you.
Planned it.
And the squeals head away from you, and that last little snuffling noise just also heads in that direction as well.
Sweet. Nice. That was a fast fall is what that was.
Yeah.
From
Nice.
college.
Think it's time to make a break for it.
The Vax Fall fastball.
Fast fall.
That's where Chungus picks you, like up Fiffle and just whips him real hard.
Yeah, we should get going before they decide to come back.
Okay. All right. So you're able to successfully throw that rock, lure the rest of them away. So making your way further along this raised section, you do find yourself in a new area. Like the streets are a little more open as it opens up into this kind of like. Really, this would be the area where you had been previously for the hall, the town hall, and the public library. But the doors to these buildings are wide open, but it's completely silent, and you don't see anything or anyone around.
I'm very interested in
How
checking out
close
the
are
library
the?
personally.
What happened?
What'd you say, Mara?
I'm saying I'm very interested in checking out the library personally, but I'm down to forsake that.
Well, we got time.
All right. What was that, Ed?
Books.
Oh no, like where are we? Because I lost sound.
Oh, you're currently like in the section of the city that would have been like the town, like the city hall and the public library. This would be like the administrative section of the city, so you know that you're very close to, like, you can see the sea tower like rising up above you.
And there's nothing we can see. Can I sense anything evil, or like celestial or that with divine sense?
Let's see. So that would be fiendish, undead, celestial. Yep. You do feel the presence of undead in the area.
Can I tell which area?
Graham, you're up.
Kind of all around.
Like in which direction is it strongest?
You feel the sense like everywhere in front of you.
Oh, great. Graham, you're up.
Well, I can rebuke undead since we rested.
Cleanse
I
everything.
think that comes back on a short rest. Let me double check how that works.
Yeah, some of the channel divinities come back on short rest, some on long rest. I can't remember for at least I think it's on short rest. So I've always had trouble remembering which who gets what.
Yeah, I know the feeling. All right, hang on. Come on, you're killing me here, Smalls.
Meanwhile, Jacques is drawn to the public library. Is it within sight?
Yeah, it's well within sight of you. You've been to the building before, and
What do they say? Curiosity killed the cat. He's just
Satisfaction brought it back.
Yes, you did.
inching towards it, drawn with curiosity, thinking about how there might be a restricted section that is okay to check out now without actual public repercussions in our hometown.
okay.
It comes back with rests, and I'll be right back. You go ahead and do that. I gotta use the bathroom.
Okay, this is the part where something horrifying happens. Somebody comes up with a plan. Is let's.
No,
If we-
no pen just starts going to the library.
All right, the doors are open.
Graham is in the bathroom.
The doors are open.
I'm not offering any more solutions. You guys can meme each other.
Doesn't seem to be anybody in the library.
Do my adventuring friends see me going towards there? Are we all going towards there?
Or if you're not trying to be stealthy, they would notice.
Just disappear into the fog.
Hey, where'd the cat go?
No, I kind of motioned to them let's go check out the library.
Yeah, I'll go with Jacques.
It's kind of funny to think in my head that Lucian can't actually speak common, but he thinks he can. Everyone just hears him going meow 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 meow.
And by luck,
really?
by luck, we've just understood everything he says, but in reality, we have no idea what he's saying. Just playing along. Don't make the cat feel bad, all right? Just nod your head. Everybody nod. Yes, Jacques. Meow 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 meow.
All right. So yeah, you're at the library. You see the rows of books. Multiple stories of just shelves and books and books.
I definitely want to investigate a little bit and see if they're blank or if they are actually books pertaining to our realm or if they're completely different or what.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation roll.
Okay. Hold on. I run down 4 flights of stairs.
I'd like to also make an investigation roll to see if I can find a book for any of those anchors. Another one of those anchors.
Sure. These would be 2 separate ones, so both of you would just go ahead and make it. Okay.
Can I make an investigation roll for locating a way out of here that maybe they documented?
Yeah, make one of yourself because you're all looking for 3 different things.
Can I guidance myself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oops. I don't know why that was there. Let me guidance myself.
Okay. So we'll start top to bottom. So, Lucian, looking through the books, some of them are blank, but as you get deeper into the library, you open up the books and it's gibberish. It's just jumbled letters, as if somebody just slammed their hand on the keyboard to just place a bunch of random letters. You do see the occasional word, but it's just books and books filled with just nothing comprehensible, but it's at least words written on the actual page as opposed to just being completely blank as you have approached going from front to back of the library. Kaito, unfortunately, you don't see anything relating to the anchor. You do see the gibberish, but nothing really shows what you're looking for. And yeah, Otto, you don't see anything written, or you don't really feel anything around that might indicate a way out of the Shadowfell.
We arcana the gibberish to see if it is something.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Yeah, now that I'm back, would it happen to be? No, I guess
I would have also done the guidance. Yes.
Okay, roll the
I mean,
d4.
it just goes without saying probably for me.
Okay, 12. It's nothing specifically magical that is outside the realm, like the context of the Shadowfell.
Is it a cipher?
You can't determine that with an Arcana check. You at least know that it's not magic beyond the just general magical nature of this area.
What would I roll to see if it's a cipher or not?
You could roll like an investigation to see if maybe you can like decipher it.
Yeah. How long can my guidance also go for that?
Yeah, you could roll it for just this if you want to do a quick one.
Wow,
Okay.
look at those rolls.
Another 9. You're at least able to tell it's not a cipher. It looks like it's more just a random string of letters and numbers that have been placed on the page and don't have any real meaning behind them.
Okay.
Is a lazy game master afoot?
I have my reasons.
Oh, not you, not you. Someone else.
How's that not going?
Where are my languages at? If we're in a place of relative downtime, I might be able to find a corner where I can make a light and start journaling all the stuff we found. Maybe examples of the scribbles.
Okay. You could, yeah, if you wanted to take like some time to like investigate further. You're not able to really write in the darkness, so you'd need to get like some kind of light to like write things down.
Yeah.
I have a torch.
Yeah, and I'll set up like a light-proof corner where it shouldn't get out too far beyond that, like hang up blankets or something.
Okay. I mean, you're able to find like a little office without any like windows or anything.
That'll do.
Okay. Go inside. You light the torch. In the gloominess, the light. You know, you've been in darkness with a torch before, but this just fills up the room with light. It's like maybe it's just because you've been in the like this area too long. Maybe it's because of some magic resonance about here, but it is incredibly bright. But it also is like you bring your hand up close, you don't really feel any heat coming off of this torch. It's like just a barest sense of heat coming from it, but
Interesting.
Alex, he's back.
I will make note of that and add that to the journal.
okay. But what did you want to do specifically with the books here?
Well, now that I've got a light corner, I can start trying to look at the scribbles and see if there are ciphers, see if they're a language, see if it's just kind of the universe's crappy copy prints of the prime material world.
Okay. Sorry, somebody's revving their motorcycle. It's definitely in common. You can tell that right away.
Okay.
If you wanted to, you could roll an investigation check.
I will. Fuck.
Okay. You get about the same idea of what Otto got. It's not a cipher. You had the idea maybe it's just like maybe it is like just an attempt to replicate the prime material plane, but you're not sure.
Damn. All right. Well, all that goes into the journal of what we know and what we've learned. No, never mind that. Trying to think of other shit we could try. I guess for now there's not a lot for it until we go and check out the light source.
Yeah.
Are we like hurt? Should we like rest up? Like, is this a good place to maybe do a long rest and just get some sleep in? And
I'm a bit low on spells, and those don't come back till a long rest, but I could keep going. It's up to you guys.
That's up to you guys. I'm
like, if we're hurt from
Good.
those ghosts and everything, it might be like spent spell slots. I don't know about you guys. I didn't, but I don't know about you guys. I know you still healed before like 19. I don't know if anybody's still hurt like Chungus or.
I'm good on HP. I've got 3 spell slots left. 1 level 2, 2 level 1s. That's half my capacity.
all right. Let's do a long rest. Since we're in a new plane, I got a weapon bond again, I guess.
Okay.
Because I'm in a different plane of existence. Shit.
Okay. Well,
But
you're
yeah, I could weapon bond.
all right. So you want to take the 8 hours to do a long rest?
Might as well.
Yep.
Okay. So you think this area is safe enough. Do you do anything
Yes.
during the long rest, or do you just all kind of like find a quiet corner and hunker down?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah, a quiet place, D&D edition.
Yeah.
Quiet
I mean,
place.
not really,
I'm
like-
going to a quiet place with maybe hopefully an entrance or 2. Could we find something with just 1 entrance?
I'll stand guard if you guys want.
If they're ghosts, they're just gonna come through the wall.
Okay.
Like the doors to the library are still like hanging open, but I mean you haven't really checked to see if there's any like back entrances or side entrances or things like that.
Let's search for a room with 1 entrance. I have an alarm spell, so at least we could all rest, and if anything happens, we'd get woken.
Yeah, you're able to or make an investigation to see if you can find a like a room like that. Not a high DC. Just you find in the basement of the building a kind of storeroom down a long hallway that doesn't have any windows or entrance or exit beyond the initial door.
What's in the storeroom?
Just boxes full of books.
Your British books.
What's in the box?
It's Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
Oh, thank God.
Oh shit.
So yeah,
It's
I
goopy.
suggest we do that. We take our rest in here, and I'll set alarm like just outside the door, just in case we do get any visitors. And I want to take an hour to transcribe this other scroll that we found into my spell book with
Okay.
the stuff that I found in the house.
Okay. Which spell?
Language spell.
Which spell was that one?
This is the comprehend language scroll that we found in this first.
Of course. Okay. So yes, you're able to do that over the course of the 8 hours. If somebody wanted to assist you with that, if they're proficient in Arcana, they can. Then you can roll with advantage.
I'll help him.
Yeah, I can help him.
If
I got a
there's
+4.
chance too.
Same.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. So advantage and Arcana.
Yep. This is going to be you have to roll it. It's a DC 10 or higher. Okay.
Aisha.
I think you got it.
Yeah. You just take down like you get the magically active ink paper, and you just are able to copy down the spell into your spell book. As you go and do this, the scroll begins to like crumble into dust in your hand, but as the spell scroll is destroyed, it is now safely in your spell book.
Awesome.
All right. So anybody else want to do anything over the course of these 8 hours?
I'd like to use an hour to just weapon bond.
Okay.
With the greatsword. Since we're in a new plane, I'm gonna have to do that.
Okay. So you go spend your time, and you're able to form the bond with the greatsword again.
Yep.
All right.
I'll probably need to select a better assortment of spells for what we're up against, but I don't want to do that right now. I'm out of it.
Okay.
For now, I'll just keep operating with what I've got if we continue past the long rest.
Did you want to prepare any new spells? Ed? I think Ed's died. Ed, can you hear us?
Are you
Oh
breathing?
no, his computer's overheating again.
He is dead now.
All right. Well, I'll just ask him. But for this purpose, 8 hours pass. The enchantment that the Forge clerics had placed on your weapons fades,
Ah, shit, that's right.
and you now are. It's been 8 hours. You've been able to heal, rest up. You regenerate all your hit points. You regen half of your hit die. You get to refill your spell slots. Throughout those 8 hours, you don't hear anything trip the alarm spell.
That's something.
Okay.
Nice.
So I guess that would probably be an Arcana check. I was going to ask if the expiration of the spell buff suggests that linear time is functional over here in the Shadowfell, in the same sense.
It would be, because mechanically it's tied to the long rest. I would say it's just that the enchantment is tied to your internal clock.
Okay, so that helps.
Oh, there we go. Ed has
What the shit
returned.
was that?
Yeah,
just
you,
kicked
like-
me out of Zoom.
you-
Zoom.
It was very weird. You disappeared for, like, it didn't look like you were moving, but did you want to prepare any new spells during the
I just remember the Arcana roll, and I don't anything after that. It just stopped. So I don't know what I missed.
Is that you, Ed?
Yeah, Chungus.
That was
That's
not-
a Chungus.
that was
that's
not-
Oh, that was Mike's girlfriend. That's hilarious. Well, I guess that means Mike's back.
I don't know. Let me
That's
see.
how the baby waterboarding went.
Mike, is that the baby that got christened?
How did the waterboarding go?
I don't think I have any spells I want to prepare.
Okay, you're just gonna stick with what you have already.
Maybe going to heaven.
Yeah, I think I have everything I can because of the paladin ones are unique.
Yeah, I mean, like the paladin, you can just, like, you have access to the whole spell list, and you just prepare the new ones per whenever you do a long rest.
Yeah, so that should be good. I don't know what else I can have. What else can I have here?
Crap.
Yeah, I don't see anything else I can have here. I guess I could do lesser restoration, but that doesn't help anything.
It's somewhat useful.
It doesn't help.
I've got lesser restoration. Unfortunately, it's pretty nerfed in 5e relative to what it used to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll link it as soon as I find my tab again. How does that keep happening? Did I close it? I guess I did.
Oh, your character sheet? If you double click it at the top, it'll,
I
like...
think I closed my Roll20 tab.
Oh yeah, you're not there. That's...
There we
No.
go. I don't know how I did that.
But-
But I have 8 trillion things going on at any given time because I'm an idiot.
Eh.
Here we go. Spells, lesser restoration. Here you go.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything of value.
It
You
used
touch
to
a
be-
creature.
It used to be the earliest way to get rid of like ability damage and the permanent shit. So I grabbed that thinking like, oh, that makes sense. I mean, it's still useful.
Yeah, like a disease, getting rid of that is pretty useful, or getting, like, blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, always very bad for you, but... Alright.
Just much more limited in application than it used to be.
Yeah.
It used to be like the generic curse-breaking low-level version. And if it didn't work, it's just because you needed the higher-level version.
Okay, my headphones are on. Earphones.
Hello?
Mike.
Hello.
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 We died like 17 times.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they avoided these little creatures that traveled in, like, large packs, and you're now just finished a long rest at the library of Vaxfall that is the, like, Shadowfell reflection of it.
Excellent.
And I also found an overcoat and hat with attached earmuffs for winter protection in
Chungus.
your size, Chungus. So these are for you.
Oh, excellent.
Winter wear.
Winter wear. Long overcoat and hat
going through
with
this real quick,
earmuffs.
and I don't see anything.
Oh, yeah. After your long rest, you actually notice something, Fiffle.
Yeah.
Your pet rat.
I was gonna ask about that
Your
actually.
peach rat?
He has a ghostly glow around it. Like, you see the actual, like, rat, like, not just the skeleton, but it's like the ethereal blue that shows, like, what it actually would have looked like, and it's a lot more lively than it was.
Cool.
Neat.
Hey guys, check it out. My rat's like more alive-ish.
He like puts on a hat and cane. Hello, my baby. Hello, honey. Hello, my ragtime girl.
Radioactive.
As you can see.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything, Ian.
Okay. So you finish your long rest. There's nothing really interrupted you. So as far as you can tell, you're okay. Fiffle's rat looks more ratish.
More radish.
It's turning into a vegetable. Chungus, talk to the
Oh,
rat.
Shelby, watch out. I'll talk to the rat. Do you
Chunk-
want to make a ritual?
No, just teasing.
I mean, if you want to spend like the 10 minutes, then
I don't. Let's continue on.
okay. But you are still in like the storage room of this library.
After our long rest, I guess I will dissipate the alarm so we don't set it off ourselves.
Okay.
Useful.
And I guess let's keep heading out. We didn't find anything here. Unless Piffle, I'd kind of wink at Piffle. Do you want to see if there's a vault or anything?
Here in the library?
Sure. Guarded.
I wonder what's under. I wonder what's behind the vault. Books. More fucking books.
It's a.
Maybe they're made of gold.
You open the vault. There's a second vault inside the vault.
It'd be
I
rare
mean,
first
we
edition.
can take it. You know, everything here is unguarded because, you know, we're in the shadow world. So I don't know if
The
that means
question
that
becomes-
good loot is shadow loot, but
Right. Can we take anything from the shadow world, the shadow realm, back to the other one? Would it have just inherent value to people studying?
I can't
Things
think
like
of
shadow
any
realm.
way that it could possibly hurt to try.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna look around and see if there's a
Matt
back
smiles
room
knowingly.
that might be locked in the real world, or perhaps a basement, or
I'm just remembering. I've got a friend who really likes doing the
Where?
stuff that it makes the DM ask, "Are you sure?"
Ooh.
But they do it very knowingly and very like, not just fucking around to find out. The quote is, "I love collecting consequences." I try to
Not a
keep that
bad
in
quote.
mind when I watch D&D games instead of just being like, "No, that's
Very
not that
relevant.
All right. So
Yeah,
Fiff-
let's bring back some moon rocks.
so Fiffle, you want to investigate around for anything like hidden or locked?
yeah,
Roll investigation.
I will roll investigation.
We're gonna be looking for like the coolest looking book to steal it. It's just gonna be a recipe book for like some ramen noodles or something.
Well, from the Shadowfell, I'm sure the people at the academy would be
They're
like,
spiced
"Oh,
with darkness.
These are some
Yeah.
special ass fucking ramen noodles.
Yeah, Fiffle, you
Just try
find
to
like
get those black noodle ramen packs.
you just get like a locked box. You find.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not big. It's just tiny. It's like yay big. It's got like a little handle on that you can carry on it.
Is it locked?"
Yeah, like you try and open it and it won't open.
Can I try and pick the lock?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll with your thieves tools.
Ah,
Yep, just click. It opens up. It's empty.
all
All right. Locked box though. Could find a use for that.
What if we bring the empty box, back to the real world, and then it has a bunch of stuff in it?
No, it's worth trying.
That might be how it works.
If nothing else, it's a neat box. It's a hell of a mantelpiece. Huh, where'd you find that box? Well, we went to hell one day.
It's a box from hell.
It's a very nice case.
Empty hell box.
Definitely.
No. The curse has trumped dimensions.
Put like a book in there or something at least. And
I mean, you're in a room full of books. They're all gibberish, but they're
yeah, grab a gibberish book, throw it in there. We'll sell it to the academy. Shadowfell book. You guys can do research on.
I don't know. Did you want to try new menu items from Funju?
all right. You just chuck in a book into your box.
Sure.
Okay. You now have a book in a box that locks. You, if you lock it, you will have to.
Box that locks.
You will have to. You don't have the key, so you have to pick the lock each and every time you want to unlock it. But
That's fine.
Sure, it's fine.
Well, you have to unlock it once, unless you plan on locking it again. Oh, it's empty, other than to keep things in.
I mean, you chucked a book in it now.
Oh, I see. Okay, I missed the
It's an
beat.
auto-locking box.
Did you? Yeah. Did you want to do anything else in the library?
No. Let's go on.
Yeah, I think we're.
Okay. Well, you leave the library. The city doesn't look like it's changed at all. It hasn't gotten lighter, hasn't gotten darker. You still see the very bright light coming from the top of the sea tower.
Is it any closer? Does it look any closer?
Oh yeah, the sea tower is like towering up ahead of you. It's probably about like 500 feet in front of you. But you do see this large wall, like a curtain wall that is blocking like the entrance to the sea tower. The gate that would like open up to let you into like the courtyard is shut, but you don't see anybody around.
Pistol picket.
I mean, looking at the gate, you don't see anything that would have like a keyhole or anything to indicate that it is got like a mechanical lock in the inside, but it doesn't give if you were to push on it.
Could I climb it? What kind of surface is this?
The wall
How
itself.
high is it?
Oh, the wall goes up about good 50 feet.
Okay. I mean, you could probably climb it, Chuck use.
See if I can find a activating mechanism or gain more information.
Okay. Climbing the top of the wall, like you get to the 50 feet up, looking down the courtyard, it's basically a bunch of like dead trees, dead flowers. Doesn't look like anything can grow here really. Like the grass is just overgrown and kind of like sharp and thorny like bushes growing out of it. Climbing down, you see a large wooden beam that's like on the door. Looks like that's what's used to keep it shut.
It's barred.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, I guess I'll just remove that bar.
It's pretty heavy. It's got iron bands around it.
Great.
Which one?
It's got iron bands around it.
It's meant to be like, yeah, it's like a defensive thing. You can determine. It looks
How hard
like
would it be for Chungus to climb the wall? I know I would have to probably roll for it.
you would have to make like an athletics check to like try and get up above.
I'll try to climb up too because it'll probably be easier for Chungus to remove it.
Okay. So yes.
Chungus gonna fall to his death here.
No, Chungus, you're able to just like climb your way up. You get up about halfway before you have to take a rest, just because I'm going by climbing speed. So just you're a little more than halfway. Just go ahead and make another one. Yeah, Chungus, just you see a pretty like bird. I mean, in reality, it's just a skeletal crow that flies by. But
Yes.
Right.
you
It gives
then
him the motivation to get up to look at it.
so you get on top of it, and now you're 50 feet up.
Oh, boy.
Lucian is at the bottom, 50 feet down.
Kind of look up and see Chungus up there, and I'm very perplexed.
What the fuck?
What in the fuck?
I guess I don't know. She's trying to jump down.
I can feather fall you. I think it might make sense. You're gonna make a lot of noise if you come crashing down. Probably hurt yourself too.
True.
It's true.
I can feather fall you though.
Let's do it.
All right,
Is it just a cantrip?
feather fall. It's not. It's a spell slot, but we just rest.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry about it. I'll try to climb down using athletics.
Okay, make one more athletics check. It's easier to get down than up. Okay, Chungus.
My luck had to run
Maybe
out
Featherfall
sometime.
now.
Feather fall.
Chungus, you're climbing down, and a bit of like the brick that you're climbing on gives way, and you're like, what? And you fall, and you're dangling by one hand. And your grip is starting to slip on this brick. Can you go ahead and can you make a strength save
Hell.
to see if you can like keep hold?
Very strong.
Let's do it. See it.
And you're gripping it real tight, and it just crumbles in your hand, and you begin to fall,
Feather fall.
Oh.
and then You slowly land on the ground.
Flying.
I've got you, buddy.
Thanks. Jack Hughes.
Jack Hughes.
I guess I'll try to open this door now.
Okay. So it's this big, heavy, like, beam of wood. It's obviously meant to be opened up by a team of people, or maybe to have, like, something looped around it and, like, drawn up.
Chungus will attempt to push it up on his own.
Okay. Chungus, while you're doing this, everybody else on the other side, please go ahead and make a perception check.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I will perceive.
Ah, here it is. The fucking.
Yeah,
Perception.
well, Chungus, Otto especially sees it. Chungus, you're on the other side, so you just see, like, more of the birds, but you all see, like, those little creatures with the sharp lamprey mouths, like, kind of gathering near, like, the library.
Oh, okay.
And they're starting to, like, notice you all by the door.
Oh no.
Time to move. Or
Taking too long over here.
set a wholesome, distracting fire.
Chungus, you wanted to lift up this heavy wooden, like, beam?
Yes.
How many of them are there? I'm sure I can tell.
There's a couple. There's like a dozen right now.
Oh, okay. That's not that bad. I think we can fight him. And then
Well,
2
you
dozen
did it.
appear. I think we still have
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Let's just get over.
I believe.
Yeah. Okay. What else do I need to do here?
Make like an athletics check to see if you can like just kind of like, because this is beyond your like. Okay. So Chungus, you're able to lift up the beam and just get it over, and you're holding it up, and you just let it fall and just boom on the ground. But the door is now able to be pushed from your side, Chungus. You're able to push it open.
Okay, I push it open.
The door opens up. Everyone on the other side, you
Loud
see
noise.
Chungus and Lucian.
Get your asses in here.
You don't even know this.
Right.
What's happening yet?
Hi guys. Shh.
I was like the first one in there. Sorry, elderly first, motherfuckers.
Otto doesn't have to be polite now that he's a senior.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
He gets discounts.
We'll send him shopping. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he gets discounts.
Get
Senior
your
citizen discount.
Yeah, you send me shopping, I'm not coming back with your money.
I don't get a discount on coffee. I'm burning this town to the ground.
Anyway. We get inside, and I'm assuming we're gonna try to close the gate. Like,
Yeah, as this happens, like all these creatures, they start to make their like squealing noise, and then like are booking it towards you. And these things are remarkably fast.
Maybe they're friendly.
nobody's listening.
I
to
tell-
it right now.
get in
Push
there and
Kaito
close
out
the
the
door.
door. Push his ass out the door.
Maybe they just want to be friends.
Lucian, do like some kind of like.
Maybe.
Like,
I'd like to
stall
have one
them.
of those as my pet.
So what did we just open the door to?
This is the courtyard area to the sea tower. Specifically, see like a bunch of like short stone buildings surrounding it. But yeah, it's like a defensive curtain wall around the actual sea tower itself.
So we could shut this door again, potentially.
Yeah, it's just like on creaky, rusted hinges.
Let's do that.
Teamwork. Close this.
Question: does something like firebolt make a lot of noise? Is it accompanied by like an explosive sound wave, or
It'd be more like it wouldn't be super loud. It would probably be about the same loudness of like a crossbow bolt, like hitting somebody.
as we're shutting? I just want to
I mean,
firebolt those
they're
little
on-
critters so they know we're not fucking around.
What's the range on firebolt?
120.
Oh yeah, that's within range. So go ahead and make it a. Can go ahead and make an attack roll. Okay, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Screw up. Stupid Microsoft account thing. I just get these warnings all the time. Okay, you send a fireball. It shoots out, and you hit the one right in the front, right in its mouth. And it squeals and like rolls, and it just kind of gets back on its feet, very unsteady, and it starts to like head towards you again.
It wants more smoke. Yeah.
The rest of you close the door?
Yeah.
Okay. You're able to shut the door. Once again, makes a loud squealing sound. And then you see you hear from the other side these things hit the door, and they start like clawing and like biting at it, and they're trying to pull it open.
Can I put the beam? Can we together put the beam back up there?
Yeah, if you wanted to, you can make another athletics. This is going to be a higher DC because it's lifting it up and on.
I was assisting him.
Okay, Chungus, you can go ahead and roll one more time. Yeah, Chungus, with the help of everybody else. Who is who is holding the door shut while Chungus does this?
I'll help shut the door. Keep the door shut.
Roll athletics to see if you can keep the door shut.
Strong person.
I'm a strong person.
The door is like getting
Person, I think. Yeah.
pulled. Like you're trying, and Chungus is like trying to fit this in.
Somebody help me.
And one of them slips through the door, just like slips through. You're able to shut the door, and Chungus can get the bar back on.
Chungus, talk to him. Talk to him, Chungus.
Hey, can you be my pet, bud?
Ian, I want to kill him.
Would you like to come with me and live forever?
Yeah, we should heal him. We should take care of him. Give him some food.
What's he doing?
No, he's running towards like. Actually, kind of. You're the closest, so he runs towards you and is going to attempt to bite you.
Oh.
Yeah, not quite.
A hug with his mouth.
Mouth hug.
Mouth hug. Okay. So he's running towards me.
Yeah.
I don't think we have a choice. I'm gonna have to go ahead and rebuttal here with a nice great sword hit.
I heard that one, baby.
Oh, okay. He's going to attempt to bite at you first.
Okay.
Bite. Oh, sorry, just the first one.
That hits.
Okay. He latches on, and he is going to.
Friend or foe?
He's going to do 3 piercing damage.
Yeah, see.
It is a mouth hug.
And he just latches onto your arm. Now you're free to go ahead. Well, or he latches onto your leg, I should say. You're free to go ahead and attack with your greatsword.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and attack with my
Or whatever you so desire.
great sword. I'm gonna go ahead and do the. I don't remember the differences between these two.
Excuse me.
Should kick him over the fence.
Can I climb back up and just farm firebolts
Down on the other people.
on the other side of the wall? Like,
I'm gonna go do the green flame blade. I think that actually might hurt me though, right? Yeah, I think that might hurt me.
they probably don't have too much more than 10. That 9 damage really hurt that other one.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this green flame one.
Okay.
Boop.
Is that a 2 to hit? Or how does it work?
It's a regular. It was supposed to be a regular greatsword hit. Oh, boop. There we go.
Okay, there you go. Oh, I see. Perfect. Okay, so you do 12 slashing damage and 2 fire damage.
Yep.
All right, this was the one that had like previously been burned, so you just like cleave right through it with this like green burning flame.
Beautiful.
It does seem to resist a bit of like the initial like slice, but the fire just cuts right through it.
Beautiful. Oh wow, so it is physically. It might resist physical attacks. Okay.
But yeah, so you're able to get inside without too much difficulty.
I'd like to inspect the bite. Have eggs been laid in me? What's happened with the bite? These are
Relevant questions.
Go ahead and make a medicine check.
Am I pregnant? Medicine check?
Yeah.
Boop.
It is. It's a bite, and well, I guess it'd be on your leg, but yeah, wow, they bit me.
Awesome.
Fine.
It's really it's bleeding a lot.
That's right.
He has a little look at your bite. He has untrained +2 to medicine.
Yep, Fiffle, that's a bite. Graham's able to.
I want you to say it's.
So get out of here, you plebes. Let me look at this.
We both agree. Yeah, that's a bite.
That's a bite, all right.
Graham's able to clear away the blood, and it does. It's basically bunch of small like teeth, matching the like lamprey-ish mouth of this creature. Bite looks relatively clean,
Nice.
so you don't see anything like poisonous. You don't see anything that's like has started to cause any necrosis or any eggs, as Kaido has mentioned.
You are egg free.
Are there larvae? No, there's nothing. It's just a regular bite. I feel them crawling under my skin.
Some Silent Hill shit.
It's all in your head. It's all in your head.
Jacques wants to maybe try to extract some teeth, some body parts from it, see if he can harvest anything from this little creature.
Yeah, that'd be a nature check. I'm sorry, this would be a survival check specifically. Yeah, plenty of teeth. You're able to like just kind of reach in and pull them out one at a time, getting about 4 teeth out of this thing.
What are we calling this thing?
Carl.
Lamprey like fell creature. Fell beagle.
It's a lamprey beagle.
Illegal?
That's
It's an
illegal.
illegal. Where are your papers?
Actually, you're in its country. It should be asking you.
This is the Shadowfell. You speak. Here.
Are they still like pawing at the door at all, trying to get in or anything?
Yeah, you hear them like just kind of like biting on the door. It's thick, like 1 foot thick almost. Wood, so they're not getting through.
Good.
Anytime soon.
Can I climb back up the wall and just like start hurling firebolts at them until they either die or run?
Yeah, like you can chuck it down. Like this is just a big mass, so an attack roll really wouldn't be like needed because you're just throwing fire into them. As you're chucking fire in, they don't really like you kill a few of them, but more show up to replace them.
I'm just going in the tower. You can stay there.
I kind of called down to them like, zombies over here, guys.
I'm going in the tower. Have fun.
Come on, guys.
Let's go to the tower.
I come back down with the group.
Okay, and you head up into the tower.
Carefully.
Sounds smart. Yeah.
The door isn't locked.
Yay.
We left this unlocked.
Okay. Maybe.
Inside the tower itself is a large square stone building that stretches up a couple hundred, be about 500 feet tall. A really tall building, but it is meant to be a lighthouse, or at least at one point was. Heading inside, you see a staircase right in front of you.
Great.
500 feet.
Let's go.
Yay.
Like the scene from Ghostbusters as you climb the building. You are getting up. You start out pretty well. And then after about the 20th flight of stairs, it's kind of getting you down. After about the 40th flight of stairs, it's wow, it's a really hard climbing upstairs.
This is a lot of fucking stairs.
It's like Final Fantasy VII.
I was about to
I'm gonna
say,
die.
it's climbing the
the whole
Shinra
way.
building.
Yup, that's
It's like
exactly what I was
infinite
thinking.
magical stairs that go on forever.
You okay?
Just turn around, do a reverse boost, like reverse long jump, backwards long jump. That's the word. Build up infinite velocity, clip through to another dimension, and get up there that way.
Was that it for a speed run of Mario 64?
Yes. And
Ah.
also,
Yeah.
there's the infamous beating the game
Sure.
with half an A press, or how many A presses does it take to beat whatever? And
BP.
it's turned into this. You can't have half an A press. You either pressed it or you didn't. And it's just this. It's like lore at this point. It's like comic book lore.
I know, I'm interested. I'm gonna have to look that up. But
It's actually pretty fascinating from a nerd standpoint.
Wait, somebody beat the whole game without pressing the A button?
Hang on.
they,
let me see.
they pressed it halfway in.
I don't
Wow.
know. How many? Hang on. How many? Hang on. Mario 64A press.
The
Okay, it was Watch for Rolling Rocks was the one that got really big.
plot twist, they just remapped the A button.
No, they actually. It actually goes into the history of what they're talking about here. I'll put it.
All right, but finally, you get to the very top of the building, and it opens up into this room, just a down hallway. Inside the room,
that I'm not seeing here.
You should just be seeing like the Viderheim map.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Inside the room, you just see there's the window, and in the window is a single candle. By the window is a chair. The back is to you, and you see a hat just sticking up above the top of the chair and occasionally swaying. You hear the pages of a book being turned.
Oh.
Just go up to the candle. No, I'm just kidding. That's a fire hazard.
I was thinking to put an O on 2x C, right? You know, C tower.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Do you blow up? Do you blow up the
No,
candle?
I'm not gonna do that. But that would be absolutely hilarious. Well, this is a fire hazard.
Can I divine sense to see if this is just what kind of person this is?
Yeah. You do a divine sense. You are sure this is undead.
Graham, you're up. Hello.
Hi there, ghost friend.
It could be skeletal.
My name's Chungus. How are you?
You hear the book close.
Oh no.
The figure
Hide behind the brave Chungus.
stands up, comes about.
Extremely ignorant.
The candlelight makes the room very bright, surprisingly for just a single candle. Standing before you is a tall, skeletal figure. It's a skull, but is wearing a fine, looks like almost a suit. He has a nice bowler hat.
Brooke, Slender Man. Brooke from One Piece.
And
You cannot have the pizza.
Pansies.
hello there.
Well,
Oh, he's
Casper.
No, I'm not gonna do any talking here because I always end up getting everybody in trouble. So
Can I help you?
Graham, you're up.
We have
Graham.
the Shadowfell as it happens, and we're not natives to this place.
As you could tell, we're living.
Certainly don't seem it. No.
Yeah, we are all in Technicolor, aren't we? Yeah. We saw your light, and trying to check the things we recognized didn't quite go to plan, so figured we would investigate this for lack of much else to do.
Oh well, always a pleasure to have visitors.
My name's Graham. Pardon for the rudeness there.
Brother Bones at your service.
Brother Bones. Love it.
Religion check.
Go ahead, please roll a religion check. You've heard about smaller cults. They would maybe be somewhat tangentially related to your god, who maybe don't worship but maybe venerate a figure known as Brother Bones.
Cool. Now, when you say Brother Bones, is that a hereditary kind of title, or are you the bona fide?
As far as I'm aware, I'm the first. I suppose it could be hereditary if I ever had any children.
Well then, guess
Those
I'll
children.
a thank you for unrelated reasons. I'm a kind of pointed his candle hat. Follower of Ados. I don't know if you're.
He lifts up his hat and it has a candle on his head. The wax of the candle begins to drip down.
Oh no, they're brothers.
It's older brother Graham.
Oh my god, it's Graham.
A brother, in fashion at least,
What a twist.
puts the hat. And as he puts it on, you actually notice there's a hole cut in the top for the actual flame to, like, go out of.
Can,
I thought there was no heat here.
Graham should take some fashion sense from this guy. Cut a hole in your hat.
Now, mine's on the brim of the hat. We
His
can deal with
kid,
that when
yeah.
I get my mid-season upgrade.
Well, how may I be of service?
Was wondering if you would have any insights on getting out of here. And not for nothing, points at Otto. We ran into some undead that had a ghastly shriek, and a couple of us took a nasty couple of decades to the chin there.
Oh yes, they're certainly rude, aren't they? Well, I could be of a service, but I do work off of a transaction, of course. Would you be willing to accept a trade?
What kind of trade?
I don't suppose you've come into the Shadowfell and survive its various denizens by just fate alone, so I have to assume you have some measure of capabilities to you. Do you happen to have any silt from the bottom of the River Styx, perhaps?
Oh yeah.
Don't know that I do.
Let me take that out of my pocket real quick.
We are Folk of Action. We're members of an organization called the Cross Blades back in the real world.
Ah, yes. I've heard of your group, of course. Very respectable organization.
You've heard of our group all the way in this realm? Jeez.
Well, mirrors your material plane, of course.
Wow.
Brother Bones is probably privy to a lot of stuff we ain't.
I have my sources. Well, of course, maybe coming across silt from the River Styx, very rare, but if you were ever to happen to find some, please bring it my way, and I'll be quite happy to reward you. But in the meantime, how about this? I often have some work that needs to be done, material plane side. If I were to, let's say, trade one free favor from you, and I'd be quite happy to undo a little bit of the damage that those ghosts have done.
Aged 30 years.
I'll take that dead on. I feel it's only right, given, well, my specialty and prior interconnections with Eidos and whatnot.
Oh, Eidos, yes. Lovely lass. A bit dour, if you ask me, though, but who am I to judge?
Graham's just like, huh.
Well, he looks to Otto, Chungus, and Fiffle. Three undos for the forgotten years.
If you would.
So then from you would be 3 favors. Nothing horrid, mind. Just I need some occasional work done.
For example, what kind of work? Just in the past, what have you commissioned?
Every once in a while, I have some people who I do them a favor and they don't repay me, or they attempt to escape from the Shadowfell. The Raven Queen has been quite lovely on her behalf to grant me this small section, so I wish to assist her and when I can.
Well,
Pimple's down.
I'm down to do some questing for you, Brother Bones.
hell yeah.
Me too.
Quite lovely. Perfect. Well, I have my, let's say, people? Yes, that's a good word to describe it. They're associates of mine who will be quite able to reach out. I don't know what to describe them as. My relationship with them is employer? Yes, employer. There we are. That will work.
They're slaves, aren't they? They're definitely slaves.
Let's just say they're on a long-term contract with me.
Yeah, slaves.
Forever.
Eternal slaves.
They wish to leave, I'd be, well, upset that they left, of course, but I wouldn't take any retaliation against them. I'd be really rude on my behalf. And I could always find myself another employee. It's nothing terrible for me. So, please, would you 3 just be
Bones is fucking awesome.
come towards, and I will just be so happy as to help you.
Okay. That was a young man.
Really? We're gonna trust this guy like that? Just
I
kind of want him to be
favor?
part of the
Graham-
crossplay,
Graham
to be
trusts him.
honest.
He seems trustworthy to me.
I like Brother Bones. he's
Really?
very.
If I need to
You're
deliver
gonna
some
trade
apples
30
to
years
the
for like an
railroad,
eternity
like,
in hell.
that's fine.
Yeah, but it's an eternity in hell with Brother Bones.
I gotta do
To be fair, it's probably safer than like adventuring with you guys.
I like Brother Bones.
There's
He's
so
good.
many worse kinds of hell in this too.
You could-
in D&D,
You can
so,
see
like,
through him, you know.
Hmm?
It's a Bones.
Not my favorite. Hey, you guys have at it.
Turns out that it takes a lot of work on behalf of the living to take care of the infrastructure of the dead.
Yes.
In my experience.
You're quite correct. That's very true. Oh, you should see the Snow Rest Hill here. Quite alive this time of year.
Mind that.
Well, the dead pass through the Shadowfell on their way to the next realm. So we get a lot of newcomers every once in a while. And some people just don't want to, go to their final resting place. So they will often just linger here. Do be careful of those folk. People who don't want to go to their final realm of, the afterlife do so because what awaits them is horrid for their actions in life.
Maybe before we do the undo age spell, can you tell us anything about this anchor that we have here? We think this is how it got here, and we would like to get home.
If you hand him the container with the anchor in it, he goes to a table, dumps it out in just a pile of dust.
Nice.
You can see what it looked like.
He takes like a piece of dust and he puts it up against another piece of dust. Nope,
This is gonna take me a while.
Put the coffee on.
Let's see here. Yes. Various artifacts for the Shadowfell exist. Coming into the Shadowfell can often be a way to achieve various objectives, whether it be simple travel, or if you wish to commune with the undead, or simply attempting to reach the Raven Queen herself in order to see if you can recover a memory long forgotten. Variety of reasons.
I mean, this seems like a good guy to be friends with.
Yeah, I think
Really?
he's a great guy. Yeah, I trust
You
him.
guys trust this guy?
Yeah, he seems
seems
upright.
He's
seems
asking you
upfront.
for an unknown favor for 30 years of return, which we can get for 100 gold.
What?
The favor's pretty
You were
well
here.
defined.
We know that we can reverse this 30 years for 100 gold.
Another world here.
And we've
Oh, you
also
could
spent,
reverse it
and
for
we've
me.
also spent 16 hours probably here, and we have 24 hours before it's permanent.
Oh,
Well,
I didn't know there was a time limit.
that assumes time is flowing as it flows.
In the shadow realm, in the normal realm.
To
yes,
be fair,
understood.
I don't want to play with like any idea. Like,
Is
anything we don't
aging
know
30
about.
years really that bad? Is what we need to ask ourselves.
For Otto,
You're
yes.
wiser.
For the other two, no.
Oh, it's bad for
let me
Otto.
roll
Yeah, he's
Insight
a
on
human.
Brother Bones, just to see if I can help with this. Just generally speaking.
He seems to be pretty, on the level kind of guy for a man who's just a skeleton in a suit.
Super trustworthy.
Grim nods and listen. If y'all are concerned, I feel I'm willing to take the hit if you don't want to be owing a favor to a
I also don't
I guess
mind,
God of
George.
undeath in the hereafter.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna be helping with the favor regardless.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
well,
I mean, it
probably.
sounds
But
like
if you don't want your own name on the sign line, I would
his
understand.
description of the favor is just like will be like his debt collector, maybe.
It turns
you
out
know?
like a year from now, he's just like, "Hey, I'm actually moving. Can you guys help me get some stuff boxed up?"
Yeah,
would
you
be
wish.
awesome.
Yeah, you wish.
Well, while Graham's debating, Piffle walks over to Brother Bones
Yeah,
and is like,
same.
"Lay it on me, Bone Man."
There you go.
Same.
Probably just
Right.
wants Turkish delight or
Alright.
something.
Yeah.
All right, then. You got a little, he just kind of, puts his thumb on your forehead and just, a
Oh.
warm glow as, the little bit of gray that had been in Fiffle's hair and the couple of, crow eyes just go away. And Fiffle is back to his normal Fiffly self.
Hey,
Huzzah!
Huzzah.
Oh, clicks his heels together.
Haha. Oh, and of course, verbal agreements are valid contracts.
Oh, sure. You just
Oh
let me
yeah,
know
that's
what
not
you want
sketch.
delivered. I'll have him here in a
I will, Mr. Tulip, of course.
Little point of advice for all y'all. When someone says your word is your bond, if you're shaking hands with a skeleton, that's literally true.
Uh-huh.
Well,
So, just
depends on which international line you're on, you know?
plus,
Dimensional
if
line.
any of y'all try to catfish Brother Bones, I'm gonna have to. Or I'm sorry, crawfish, not catfish.
Catfish.
I'm getting my
Oh.
period. Like you catfish him on Tinder. If y'all try to crawfish Brother Bones, I'm gonna have some words with you when we get back out.
I would never do that, Mr. Graham.
Graham.
So, who may I assist next?
Touch me.
Of course.
Touch me. Yeah.
Touch me.
Touch me!
He just puts his thumb
Rips off his loincloth.
right on your forehead, and the wrinkles dissipate, and you are back to your youthful self.
Yay.
Of course. Do enjoy your youth, Mr. Chungus.
I'll try to, sir. Nice to meet you, Mr. Bones.
Oh, Graham, you also would have noticed you didn't tell him your names.
I don't
Oh,
think
he just
him
knows
mine.
our names? Oh,
I think
that's...
he knows our names.
Well, Otto, are you next?
Yeah.
All right. Once again, puts his thumb on your forehead, and the 50-year-old, I guess 53-year-old Otto, returned to your early 20s.
Back to 23.
Boomer powers fading.
I suddenly understand memes again. It's weird.
My grandchildren aren't entitled?
So confusing.
Oh, we're bitter.
Well, it seems you're all back to your youthful selves once again.
Thank you kindly.
So I am an interested individual. So you don't have to answer if you don't desire. Just my curiosity. What are you doing here?
Well, it goes
We're
like...
on a mission
assuming
from
nobody-
God.
We're on a mission from... Nice. Graham will point at the dust that was once the anchor.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I know how you got into the Shadowfell. What are you doing in Viderheim? You're not from here, I can tell that.
Right. Well,
The guy. That
I got
killed the
taken in
squire.
by the Church of Eidos when I was young, and well, they had an opportunity to help put forth a candidate for the Crossed Blades, and looking at the history of Vaxfall in general, I volunteered.
Yes. Crossblades. But not from Viderheim. No, from Astilia, if I could place that accent.
That's
Creepy at all.
I've always had a bit of a connection with the hereafter, not this hereafter, another hereafter, and
Thereafter.
saw ghosts a whole lot as a kid. Folks thought I was crazy. Sure you know. And eventually that caused enough of a stir to get a cleric of Eidos in to investigate, and lo and behold, I see dead people.
Yeah. Well, surely nothing crazy about that. I mean, look who you're speaking to.
Ain't wrong. But I got a lot of useful lessons off of them. Ain't nothing like having a math lesson out in the field from a dead brigadier general from an ancient empire, let me tell you that. I learned a lot about ballistics.
Interesting. Well, I have another...
Ballistics roll.
Well, always good to acquire knowledge. If I may impart a lesson upon you, please remember to stay hydrated.
I like Brother Bones.
Yeah,
Don't
Brother
dare
Bones is like
demon.
top tier NPC.
Well, then, would you care for some tea? I just make it as a habit. A few thousand years out of ability to actually enjoy its taste.
Well, if a god offers you a tea, you say yes. I'd be delighted.
He hands you some tea. It's lukewarm and has a taste barely above water.
But probably not poison. So
Y'all are so
Maybe?
trustworthy.
We really put a lot of trust into Brother Bones. Though,
Yeah,
so.
I mean, he's got a connection to my church. I'm allowed.
that kind of
I'm
He
a
has the
Talon.
same-
You guys have to come
He
up
has
with
the
your own
same symbol
reasons.
that.
No, I don't care. He's
I mean,
legitimately a god,
Chungus
right?
doesn't really need a reason. So.
He's not a god per se, but he's
Pretty high up there.
yeah.
You know how Castlevania Death isn't literally death, but he's just
Right.
a thing,
Yeah.
and everybody knows what he is.
Everybody knows what Mr. Bones
He
is.
just is.
Okay.
Sounds like he was immortal though.
Oh yes, yes. I one time flesh and blood, as you are now. Many, many years ago in the past. Very few that are actually older than me that still are reachable.
How? So he knows a lot, right? He knows like
He knows
a
about
lot.
the Chaos Blade.
Okay, but
You'd have to ask him to find out.
it's like so. So yeah, I want to ask him like, so you know a lot, right?
Oh, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but yes, I feel that way. I have nothing but better things to do than to read.
Do you know how to bring somebody's spirit back into a body that doesn't exist anymore?
Oh yes, you'd want something along the lines of a wish spell or a true resurrection spell. Who do you have in mind?
I've gathered as much. My wife.
Well, do you
Is
have
there-
X?
Do you know perhaps the location of someone with such an ability?
Yes and no. He travels the plains a bit. But the other thing you have to be aware of is you would need access. The soul would have to be willing to come back. Is the soul capable of doing that?
I would think so. I have it. Oh wow,
Oh.
now it's out of the bag, like officially, right?
Do you mind if I see? It's
You've just been carrying the soul of your tragically dead wife.
Actually, I have.
She just
Actually,
wants to move on.
it's from my backstory.
Just
so
want
yes.
to move on.
I use her to swipe on Tinder.
Yeah, since Matt, like, I guess since I would trust Graham in this case, I would trust him with it, and I'll show him Diamond.
As you pull the diamond, where before it was immaculate, now it has a cleave in it, as if it was like sliced. And this was this absorbed the blow from from Alex Sudenberg, and is the only reason you're alive.
Interesting.
Oof.
Interesting.
He reaches out with his skeletal hand and picks up this lovely diamond. Has a slight flaw, I've noticed, though.
I was gonna say something fucked up.
The soul isn't in this.
It isn't.
It never was. This is not a receptacle for holding a soul. This is specifically this is used by fiends, devils, if you want to be very specific, to traverse souls from the mortal material plane down into their location. So your wife's soul is there. This is just a communication device.
That's a hell of a.
Here you go. And he hands it back to you.
So your wife's in hell.
Hey, that means we get to go to the River of Styx and get him what he wants.
You know, I didn't quite think of that, but this is not a conflict of interest. You have no. I'm not going to force you to do that. If you go there to retrieve her, you don't need to get the silt from the river Styx for me. But if you were to do it, I would be greatly appreciative.
Yes, of course you would.
That being said, how long has your wife been down there?
How long would it have been in game?
Probably a year or two.
Okay, so I will, I guess, communicate that to him.
You do need to be careful. See, heading down now, of course, I'm assuming your wife was probably not an evil woman, but you need to understand that when the soul goes down through the river Styx, it will eventually transform into a very low-level devil.
Oh my god, we're gonna boss fight your wife, aren't we? It's gonna be a boss fight against your wife.
Tragic.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not saying it's happened yet. I'm just saying, given enough time, it will occur.
So it sounds like we might need to hustle on that. The
How
problem-
long does it normally take?
Maybe 3 years. However, this is after you have a way to communicate. to an extent, as long as that diamond remains. Just don't break it further. But you have a time limit. Let's say I don't want to be responsible for giving a incorrect timeline and having it be wrong. People tend to get a little annoyed if you do that.
How would we go about?
do I get there? Like, I guess from like Viderheim. Like,
Oh, that's a little beyond me. You would probably that one's a little beyond my area of expertise currently. I mean, I guess theoretically, if you're holding that diamond and you die, then you would go down there as well.
Smash
How
cuts.
can-
Sounds like a
overhead. Not holding it like here I come, baby.
how
sounds like
can
a
I get-
solo quest.
How can I get my like mortal flesh there? Like, do you know who I can talk to that might have that?
A very powerful wizard, perhaps. I tend to deal mostly with the undead in Shadowfell, you understand. Devils and I, we don't agree with each other. They're very self-centered. I don't appreciate that kind of rudeness.
Oh, Brother Bones, I have a question.
Yes, Fiffle, Mr. Tula, please, go ahead.
So, when I bring you a soul or, some snacks or whatever, how do I get back here?
Oh, no, you don't have to worry about that. You see, I will send my employee to come and ask you for my favor, and then you would just have to reach out to them, and they would get back to me. So it's perfectly...
Like bring you snacks or whatever.
Oh, I don't eat the sill, if that's what you're thinking. I simply trade it to the Raven Queen. But, no, just bring it to my agent, and they'll be able to assist you.
Okay.
Oh, in fact, that does remind me, you will need to be getting back to the material plane if I am to have those favors enacted. So I am going to have you meet with an associate of mine, who will be able to then guide you to the material plane.
Oh, beautiful.
I'd confirm that this is your employee and not some weirdo.
Oh, I don't mean to speak ill of the lad, but he's a bit of a weirdo.
Guys,
Don't
Jimmy.
don't tell him I said that. He'll upset him greatly. I shouldn't have said anything at all.
We're definitely bringing that up.
It's gonna be Jimmy.
We don't think you're a weirdo. We don't care what your employer says.
Can you kill him?
Brother Bones, is there? Can you tell me about the Chaos Blade? Yes.
It's some sort of a sword, if I can gather the name correctly.
Yes, the knowledge is seeping out.
Did you know, or were you around during the time of the inventor Zaffeler?
Ah, yes, dear fella. What a
Here's a song I love.
interesting lad he was. I was around. I predate Arwellan Empire. I mean, I literally predate the Arwellan Empire's existence, not just their presence in Viderheim.
Don't brag so much, Brother Bones.
No, I'm sorry, dear Chungus. I didn't mean to. That wasn't to come off as a brag.
Oh, okay. So I misunderstood. I'm simple.
No. It's my fault, really. But anyway, yes, I'm familiar with the inventor. Brilliant mind, really.
Not so great about his help library redirects, but that's just my opinion.
Always, early beta access bug fixing.
Always wait for service pack 1, even in Viderheim.
But the dear feller has passed on to his final resting place, his afterlife. I'm sure he's quite happy there. He's very mechanically minded. I'm sure he loves it.
That's something. Right. So, I guess there's not much for it unless there's an easy way to travel to and from this place, and if there were, it might be a bit of a hazard with the little gremlin things going around.
Oh, yes. They're a little annoying, aren't they? You just need a rather large mouse trap.
Just imagining him like a no-kill, one of the clear plastic traps where they can get in and then the door falls and they can't get back out. He's just carrying that over his head with one of them inside.
His little
one.
his hammer trap. Oh, they look for a nice quick meal, but you deny them and they'll be on their way.
How would we deny them? What do you mean?
Get in your face with them.
Yeah, I wouldn't just, when they're where they are, don't be there.
Okay. Do they have any natural predators or things they like to avoid?
Anything that's not an easy meal. Me. Shadow dragons. Few things here and there. But for the most part, they're a little slow on the uptake. So what they should and shouldn't bite are not as well known to them.
How many of them are there, Mr. Bones?
Billions.
A lot. I got bored one century and tried counting them all. Not a good idea.
Gotcha.
Well, I'll tell you what. You're the Crossblades. Head to your manor house, and I'll have my agent meet you there.
You got any ways to navigate them streets? We tried taking the path, and the path kind of took us right back where we were.
Oh, yes, they're quite foolish that way. City designers, they just pave over a cow path and call it a day. Yes, if you were to simply... would be a good way. I'll tell you what. You just walk a street and you'll get there. Now, mind you, some of those streets might be dangerous, but just walk forward along the route out of here and you'll find yourselves at the manor house.
Okay.
Well, thank you very kindly, sir.
It's always a pleasure. Well, don't be well, I suppose for you, please do be a stranger. It's very dangerous here, but if you become more powerful, then please don't be a stranger. Always lovely having visitors.
I certainly have a lot of questions that aren't too important right now in the grand scheme of trying not to die and getting back out of here, but I got some questions. I imagine you might understand.
I'm sure you do.
What did you need from the River Styx, by the way?
The silt at the bottom.
Oh, silt?
Yep.
At least it's not from Lev. You'd be like, oh, this is easy. You just stick your hand in like, who am I?
Mr. Bones, I am a conjuration wizard who has heard stories of planewalkers, and I plan to become such a planewalker. Is there anything that we could do to anchor this location so that we may be able to come here when I'm more powerful one day?
Oh, the Shadowfell is just a mirror of the material plane. This is the sea tower. You probably best bet would just be to go to the sea tower and then planes walk in.
I see. Well, thank you, Mr. Bones.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
You are more trustworthy than I originally thought.
Well, in here I have...
Taking the cornerstone of my religion.
I'm relatively secure in my area here. I have no need to be afraid.
Well, thank you.
He tips his hat, and just like the little drip of wax hits the floor as he bows. If there's anything else, please do mention it, but I'm sure you have to be on your way. I can understand being here might be a bit disconcerting.
What about the Raven Queen?
Oh, a lovely woman. Very interested in old memories. Very big on memories. She was kind enough to give me this little section of the Shadowfell just to myself. I do my best to support her as I can.
And if we wanted to say hello and just gaze upon her greatness, is there a way to talk to her? Or meet her?
She has a fortress. That being said, I wouldn't recommend it. It's a bit of a travel to get there currently.
I see. Well, thank you.
You're quite welcome. Well, must be back to my book. Not the best written, but it's a written, so. He sits back in his chair and opens up a book again.
Thank you very kindly. We'll be on our way, and I'll see if I can get you some new reading material.
Oh, thank you. I'm always interested. Thank you.
Can I peek at the book that he's reading? I just wanted to see if the writing is the same writing we saw in the library or regular writing.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
All right.
I was actually kind of curious about that too.
Looking over, I mean, it's not trying to hide or anything. You do see that it's actually like words written, and like you can understand what it's saying. He does notice you peeking. Oh, are you interested in this novel?
Actually, I'm just interested in the books in this realm to begin with. We were in the library before, and we found some scriptures. I point to Graham because I think you copied a couple of these, right? And they seem to
Finish
be
up
in
my journal.
gibberish.
Show the weird squiggle marks.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Well, the library. Most books are drained of any other content here. But there's also the thought that the library contains anything that has been or will be written. But that's literally everything, including complete nonsense.
Wow.
Is your book from that?
Oh, no, this came from one of my agents in the material plane. I have to talk to him about his choice of literature.
He wants to make out paradise.
He opens the book, he starts reading. Look, this alone, just... He came into the room. I'm mad. About what? She said. It goes on like this. And also, there's not a single description of the room they're in. I have to assume they're just voices floating in the void.
Like a young adult novel.
Mature writer.
He just puts the book down. And the spelling mistakes alone. The gentleman who owned the printing press is obviously the gentleman who also wrote the novel.
I see.
We'll get you some better books. We're gonna get him some softcore erotica.
Thank you. As for the writer here, eventually he'll make his way here, and I must chastise him for his writing.
I like he's gonna get blood circulating for that.
Well, mostly I'm just... But yes, softcore erotica. Well, I lack the parts to truly make use of that, but always
I don't know.
fun to remind myself, right?
Get a boner.
We're leaving. You're making me look bad in front of
In front of your god. Yeah, we're out of here.
Dude, you're making me look bad in front of the wizards.
This is how you spend your time with these types of people, man?
I mean, he basically got like math lessons from Napoleon when he was a kid.
And you were giving me shit about just being an arsonist.
Yeah, we should be
So I
on our
don't
way.
embarrass you in front of your god.
Alright. So as you leave the sea tower, find yourself back at the courtyard, the biting sound has dissipated as the creatures have realized that there's really no meal to be had. And I think we will call it. We've been playing for a little more than 2.5 hours, and we can pick this up next week.
That was good.
Sweet.